Welcome to this deep dive.
Oh, cool.
Today we're stepping into Silicon Valley's quest for immortality.
Okay.
And, wow, you've sent over a fascinating collection of articles, research summaries, even some personal notes.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear this topic has really captured your interest.
It has, yeah.
It seems like you're particularly drawn to the stories of these tech moguls and their ventures.
Right.
You want to understand their motivations, their strategies, and what they're actually achieving.
Yeah.
So are you ready to explore the world of billionaires, biohacking, and the pursuit of eternal life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a fascinating landscape where cutting-edge science meets boundless ambition,
Wow.
and perhaps a touch of science fiction.
Yeah.
What's striking is how these individuals are leveraging their vast resources
Right.
to tackle a challenge that has captivated humanity for millennia, defying death.
Yeah. Let's start with a company that's garnered a lot of attention,
Okay.
Altos Labs.
Mm-hmm.
This venture, reportedly backed by Jeff Bezos, is delving into cellular reprogramming, essentially aiming to rewind the clock on aging at the cellular level.
Wow.
It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What Altos Labs is attempting is incredibly complex.
Yeah.
They're trying to understand the fundamental processes of aging
Right.
and find ways to manipulate them to rejuvenate cells.
Hmm.
It's a bold undertaking.
Yeah.
And while it's still early days, the research has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of aging
yeah.
and potentially lead to therapies that could significantly extend lifespan.
That's incredible. But Altos Labs isn't the only player in this game.
Right.
You also included information on Unity Biotechnology,
Yes.
another company attracting investment from tech giants like Jeff Bezos and Peter Thiel.
Mm-hmm.
Their focus is on senescent cells, those zombie cells that accumulate as we age.
Exactly. As we age, these senescent cells stop dividing but don't die off.
Oh.
They linger in our tissues, secreting harmful substances that contribute to inflammation and tissue damage.
Huh.
Unity Biotechnology is developing drugs called senolytics. Okay.
That specifically target and eliminate these senescent cells.
So?
Imagine clearing out these cellular culprits
Yeah.
to help us age more gracefully
Yeah.
and potentially prevent age-related diseases.
It's like hitting the reset button on aging.
Right.
But, it's not all about high-tech labs and billion-dollar companies.
Right.
You've also included a lot of material on biohacking,
Yeah,
which seems to be gaining popularity, especially in Silicon Valley.
it is.
Dave Asprey, the founder of the Bulletproof Coffee empire,
Mm-hmm.
is a prominent figure in this movement.
He is, yeah. Biohacking is interesting because it offers a more accessible and DIY approach to longevity.
I see.
It encompasses a wide range of practices,
Okay.
from dietary interventions like intermittent fasting to cold exposure therapy, and even the use of supplements and nootropics to enhance cognitive function.
It's like people are taking their health and longevity into their own hands,
Exactly.
experimenting with different techniques to optimize their well-being.
But does it actually work? I mean, is there any scientific evidence to support these practices?
The scientific evidence for biohacking is mixed.
Okay.
Some practices, like regular exercise and a healthy diet, have a strong foundation in research.
Right.
Others, like cryotherapy or taking large doses of unproven supplements, are more speculative and potentially risky.
Oh.
It's crucial to approach biohacking with a healthy dose of skepticism,
Yeah.
to critically evaluate the claims being made,
Right.
and to consult with a healthcare professional before embarking on any extreme regimen.
It's like the Wild West of longevity,
Mm-hmm.
with pioneers forging their own paths,
Right.
but also facing potential pitfalls along the way.
Yeah.
Speaking of pioneers, I was particularly struck by the story of Brian Johnson,
Oh, yeah.
the tech entrepreneur who made headlines for his extreme approach to biohacking.
Right.
He even received young blood plasma transfusions,
Mm-hmm.
involving his teenage son and elderly father in the process.
Wow. Johnson's dedication to self-experimentation is certainly noteworthy.
Yeah. But it also raises ethical concerns.
Mm-hmm.
The FDA has issued warnings about the lack of proven benefits and potential harm from these treatments.
Right.
It highlights the potential dangers of pursuing unproven therapies,
Yeah.
especially when driven by a desire for immortality.
It seems like the allure of immortality can sometimes cloud judgment
Definitely.
and lead people down risky paths.
Right.
But it's not a new phenomenon.
No.
Think back to Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China who was obsessed with finding the elixir of life.
Yeah.
Or even Gilgamesh, the ancient Sumerian king who went on a quest for immortality.
Yeah.
Exactly. The yearning for immortality is a timeless theme.
Yeah.
woven throughout human history.
Right.
What's different now is the convergence of vast wealth, advanced technology, and a culture that often celebrates disruption and pushing boundaries.
It's like Silicon Valley's ethos is perfectly aligned with this age-old quest.
Exactly.
But this raises another question that's been on my mind. Okay. And it seems to be a concern for you as well, based on your notes. What about the potential for a widening health gap?
Right.
If these longevity therapies become a reality, will they be available to everyone?
That's the question, isn't it?
Or just the ultra-wealthy?
Yeah, that's a crucial question.
Yeah.
The potential for a future where the rich live indefinitely, while the rest of us face our natural limits, is a dystopian scenario we need to actively avoid.
Wow.
We need to ensure that any breakthroughs in longevity research benefit humanity as a whole.
Right.
Not just a privileged few.
It's almost like we need to find a way to democratize immortality.
Yeah,
to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to benefit from these advancements.
Right.
And speaking of making things accessible, you included some intriguing information about Vitalik Buterin.
Oh, yeah.
The co-founder of Ethereum. He actually created a pop-up city in Montenegro to foster collaboration among longevity researchers.
He did.
Buterin's creation of that pop-up city highlights a growing movement within the tech world.
Yes.
That sees combating aging as a moral imperative.
Interesting.
He believes we have a responsibility to push the boundaries of science and technology, to extend human lifespan, and alleviate the suffering associated with age-related diseases.
I see.
It's inspiring to see individuals like Buterin using their wealth and influence to drive innovation in this field.
It is.
But I also can't help but wonder about the motivations behind these ventures.
Yeah.
Is it purely altruism? Or is there an element of self-preservation, a fear of death, driving these efforts?
The motivations are likely complex and multifaceted.
Right.
A blend of altruism, scientific curiosity, and perhaps even a touch of ego.
Yeah.
It's essential to be aware of these influences as we evaluate the potential consequences of this research and the direction it's taking us.
That's a great point. Understanding the motivations behind these endeavors can help us better assess the potential benefits and risks of this quest for immortality.
Yeah.
But before we dive deeper into the ethical debates and the long-term implications of this research, let's shift gears for a moment and explore another fascinating aspect of this field.
Okay. What's that?
Transhumanism.
Ah, yes, transhumanism. Now we're venturing into the realm where technology and biology merge in a quest to transcend our biological limitations.
Wow.
It's a realm full of both promise and peril.
Yeah.
Where the lines between science fiction and reality blur.
You included information on brain-machine interfaces.
Right.
Like Elon Musk's Neuralink, which aims to create a seamless connection between our brains and computers. It sounds straight out of a cyberpunk novel.
It does, doesn't it? But Neuralink is just one example of the burgeoning field of neurotechnology.
Okay.
Researchers are exploring ways to enhance cognitive function, treat neurological disorders, and even merge human consciousness with artificial intelligence.
Wow. It's mind-boggling to think about the potential applications of this technology.
It is.
But it also raises profound questions about what it means to be human.
Absolutely.
If we can enhance our brains, connect them to computers, or even upload our consciousness into a digital realm, are we still ourselves?
That's one of the central questions at the heart of transhumanism.
Right.
What does it mean to be human in an age where technology allows us to fundamentally alter our biology, and even our consciousness?
Wow.
It's a question that challenges our existing ethical frameworks and forces us to grapple with new possibilities and potential consequences.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our exploration.
We have.
From the ambitious ventures of Silicon Valley billionaires to the DIY biohacking movement and the mind-bending possibilities of transhumanism.
Yeah.
It's clear that the quest for immortality is a complex and evolving landscape.
Definitely.
Full of both promise and peril. But before we continue our deep dive into the science, ethics, and potential future of this fascinating field, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
I like that.
What stands out to you as the most intriguing aspect of this quest for eternal life?
What strikes me most is the sheer ambition and audacity of these endeavors. Humanity has always been driven by a desire to push boundaries, to explore the unknown, and to challenge the limits of what's possible.
Yeah.
The quest for immortality is perhaps the ultimate expression of this drive. A testament to our relentless pursuit of knowledge and our deep-seated yearning to transcend our mortal limits.
That's incredible.
It is.
It's incredible to think that we might be on the verge of unlocking the secrets to a longer, healthier life.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about the potential downsides.
Right.
The unforeseen consequences that might arise from tampering with the natural processes of aging.
That's a crucial point. We can't just focus on extending lifespan without considering the potential trade-offs.
Right.
For example, one concern is the possibility of creating a society where people live much longer, but experience a decline in quality of life, perhaps facing extended periods of frailty or cognitive impairment. We need to ensure that any longevity interventions not only extend life, but also enhance health span, allowing people to live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just about adding years to our lives, but adding life to our years.
Exactly.
And I remember you mentioned earlier the potential for a widening health gap.
Right.
If these longevity therapies are only accessible to the wealthy, it could create a society of haves and have-nots when it comes to life itself.
That's a valid concern. We need to be mindful of the potential for these technologies to exacerbate existing inequalities. If access to life-extending therapies becomes a matter of wealth and privilege, it could create a deeply divided society with profound ethical and social implications.
It's almost like we need to establish ethical guidelines and regulations to ensure equitable access to these technologies as they develop.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears for a moment and dive deeper into the science behind some of these longevity interventions.
Okay, sounds good.
You mentioned earlier the concept of senescent cells.
Yes.
Those zombie cells that accumulate as we age.
Right.
Can you explain how these cells contribute to aging and what researchers are doing to target them?
As we age, our cells experience wear and tear, and some become damaged beyond repair.
Okay.
These cells stop dividing but don't die off. Instead, they enter a state called senescence.
Interesting.
Where they linger in tissues and secrete harmful substances that contribute to inflammation and tissue damage. It's like having these cellular zombies lurking in our body, slowly wreaking havoc on our health.
So it's not just that our cells are getting old, it's that they're actively contributing to the aging process itself.
Right.
It's a fascinating and somewhat disturbing concept.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that researchers are developing drugs to target these cells.
They are.
How do these drugs work?
These drugs, called senolytics, selectively target and eliminate senescent cells. Clearing them out of tissues and potentially reducing their harmful effects. Some senolytics work by interfering with specific pathways that senescent cells use to survive, while others trigger the cell's self-destruction mechanisms. The goal is to eliminate these cellular troublemakers, reduce inflammation, and slow down the aging process.
It sounds like a promising approach, but is there any evidence that it actually works? Have these drugs been tested in humans?
Research on senolytics is still in its early stages. But there have been encouraging results in animal studies. Scientists have shown that eliminating senescent cells in mice can improve their health span and extend their lifespan.
Interesting.
Some human trials are underway, but it's too early to say definitively whether these drugs will work in humans. And what the long-term effects might be.
It's exciting to think about the potential of these therapies.
It is.
But it's also important to proceed with caution. And to carefully evaluate both the benefits and risks. You also mentioned another area of research focusing on telomeres. Those protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes.
Yes, those are important.
Can you explain how telomeres relate to aging?
Every time a cell divides, its telomeres shorten slightly. Think of telomeres like the aglets on the ends of shoelaces, protecting the chromosomes from fraying and damage. As telomeres get shorter, cells become less able to divide. And this contributes to the aging process and the development of age-related diseases.
So the shorter our telomeres, the closer we are to the end of our cellular lifespan.
That's a good way to think about it.
Is there any way to prevent telomeres from shortening or even lengthen them?
There is an enzyme called telomerase that can add back to telomeres, keeping them from getting too short.
Interesting.
However, most cells in our body have very low levels of telomerase activity. Researchers are exploring ways to activate telomerase or deliver it to cells, potentially slowing down or even reversing cellular aging. But there's also a concern that activating telomerase could increase the risk of cancer. So this area of research requires careful consideration.
It's fascinating to learn about these cellular mechanisms that underpin the aging process.
It is.
It seems like there's a constant battle going on within our bodies. between the forces that promote longevity and those that drive us toward decline.
Right. It's a delicate balance.
But let's zoom out a bit and talk about some of the broader implications of longevity research.
Okay.
What are some of the ethical and societal challenges we might face if we succeed in significantly extending human lifespan?
One of the most pressing challenges is ensuring equitable access to life-extending therapies.
Right.
We need to prevent a scenario where longevity becomes a luxury only affordable to the wealthy, creating a stark divide between those who can afford to extend their lives and those who cannot.
Right.
This raises fundamental questions about fairness, justice, and the value we place on human life.
It's a complex issue, and I'm not sure there are easy answers.
It's a tough one.
But it's a conversation we need to have as a society. If we're serious about pursuing these technologies responsibly,
absolutely.
What are some other potential challenges we might face?
Another challenge is considering the impact on demographics and social structures.
Okay.
A significant increase in lifespan could lead to overpopulation, strain resources, and disrupt existing social systems such as retirement and healthcare.
Right.
We need to think about how to adapt our institutions and policies to accommodate a world where people live much longer lives.
It's almost like we need to rethink our entire societal model.
It might require some major adjustments
to prepare for a future where longevity is the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And what about the psychological and existential implications?
No, that's an interesting one.
How might our perspectives on life, death, and the meaning of existence change if we no longer face the inevitability of a finite lifespan?
Those are profound questions that philosophers have been contemplating for centuries. Extending human lifespan could reshape our understanding of time, our relationship with the past and future, and our sense of purpose and meaning.
Wow.
It might also challenge our traditional views on death and dying, prompting us to reevaluate our values and priorities.
It's a fascinating and somewhat daunting prospect, isn't it?
It is.
To imagine a world where the boundaries of human experience are so radically expanded.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
But it's also an incredible opportunity to explore new possibilities.
Absolutely.
To redefine what it means to live a fulfilling life.
Right.
And to perhaps even discover new dimensions of human potential.
It is indeed. The quest for immortality is not just about extending lifespan.
Right.
It's about expanding the horizons of human experience, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and ultimately deepening our understanding of what it means to be alive.
It's a reminder that this journey is about much more than just conquering death.
Exactly.
It's about exploring the mysteries of life itself, and perhaps even discovering a deeper meaning in our existence.
Right.
But before we delve further into these philosophical realms, let's turn our attention to another fascinating aspect of this field.
What's that?
The role of artificial intelligence in the quest for immortality.
Oh, that's a big one. AI is rapidly becoming a powerful tool in longevity research.
How so?
Enabling scientists to analyze vast data sets, identify patterns, and develop personalized interventions. AI algorithms can sift through mountains of genetic data, medical records, and lifestyle information to uncover hidden connections and predict individual risks of age-related diseases.
It's like having a personalized health coach.
Right.
Powered by the latest scientific knowledge.
Exactly.
And capable of tailoring recommendations to our unique needs and genetic predispositions.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But how else is AI being used in longevity research?
AI is also being used to accelerate drug discovery and development by simulating biological processes and screening vast libraries of compounds. AI can help identify potential drug candidates that target specific aging mechanisms.
Interesting.
This could significantly shorten the time it takes to develop new therapies and bring them to market.
It sounds like AI is becoming an essential tool in the fight against aging.
It's certainly playing an increasingly important role.
But what are some of the potential risks or ethical concerns associated with using AI in this field?
One concern is the potential for bias in AI algorithms.
Right.
If the data used to train these algorithms is skewed or incomplete, it could lead to biased outcomes, potentially exacerbating existing health inequalities.
That makes sense.
We need to ensure that AI systems used in longevity research are fair, transparent, and accountable.
It's a reminder that even the most advanced technologies can reflect our own biases and limitations.
Yeah, we have to be careful.
We need to be vigilant in ensuring that these technologies are used ethically and for the benefit of all humanity.
Absolutely.
But let's take a step back for a moment and consider another aspect of this quest for immortality,
Mm-hmm.
the role of individual choice and personal responsibility.
Right.
To what extent is longevity a matter of individual action and lifestyle choices?
Our lifestyle choices play a significant role in shaping our health span and influencing how we age.
Okay.
Factors such as diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, and social connections
Right.
all contribute to our overall well-being and can impact our longevity.
Yeah.
By adopting healthy habits and making informed choices, we can empower ourselves to live longer, healthier lives.
It's a reminder that we're not simply passive passengers on this journey through life.
Exactly.
We have agency and the ability to make choices that can influence our trajectory.
I like that.
But what are some of the key lifestyle factors that have been shown to impact longevity?
Numerous studies have shown that a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, combined with regular physical activity, adequate sleep, and effective stress management techniques, can significantly reduce the risk of age-related diseases and promote longevity. Maintaining strong social connections and engaging in meaningful activities are also crucial for overall well-being and longevity.
It sounds like a holistic approach to health and well-being,
It is.
encompassing not just physical health,
Yeah.
but also mental, emotional, and social well-being.
Right.
It's a reminder that longevity is about more than just extending lifespan.
Yes.
It's about cultivating a life that is vibrant, fulfilling, and rich in meaningful connections.
Exactly. Longevity is not just about adding years to our lives, but adding life to our years.
I like that.
It's about embracing a lifestyle that supports our physical, mental, and emotional well-being,
Right.
allowing us to thrive throughout our lifespan, however long it may be.
It's inspiring to think that we have the power to influence our own aging trajectory and to create a life that is both long and fulfilling.
It's empowering.
But as we continue to explore this fascinating landscape of longevity research, I can't help but wonder about the bigger picture.
Okay.
What are the long-term implications for society as a whole if we succeed in significantly extending human lifespan?
Right.
How might it reshape our world?
The implications are vast and multifaceted.
Yeah.
Extending human lifespan could transform our demographics, our economies, our social structures.
Wow.
And even our fundamental understanding of what it means to be human.
Right.
It could lead to a more experienced and wise society, but it could also create new challenges and inequalities.
It's a complex and exciting prospect, full of both promise and uncertainty.
It is a lot to consider.
But one thing is clear.
What's that?
The quest for immortality is not just a scientific endeavor.
Right?
It's a societal project, a journey that requires us to engage in thoughtful conversations about our values, our priorities, and the kind of future we want to create.
That's a crucial point. As we venture further into this uncharted territory, we need to bring together diverse perspectives from science, ethics, philosophy, and the humanities to navigate the complexities and ensure that longevity benefits all of humanity.
It's a journey that will require collaboration, creativity, and a deep sense of responsibility for shaping a future where longer lives lead to greater flourishing for all.
I agree. It's a truly remarkable endeavor.
It's amazing to consider how intertwined science, technology, and our very understanding of what it means to be human are becoming in this pursuit of longer lives.
It really is a remarkable convergence.
But with all these advancements and potential breakthroughs, there's a nagging question in the back of my mind.
Okay, what's that?
What about the environmental impact?
Right.
Can our planet even support a population that lives significantly longer?
That's a question that weighs heavily on many minds.
Yeah.
It's crucial to acknowledge that longevity research cannot exist in a vacuum. If we're talking about extending human lifespan, we must address the potential strain on resources, energy consumption, and the delicate balance of our ecosystems.
So it's not just about figuring out how to live longer.
No, it's not.
But how to do so sustainably and responsibly, right?
Absolutely. Some argue that advancements in areas like renewable energy, vertical farming, and even space exploration could help mitigate the environmental impact of a larger, longer-living population. Others suggest that a shift in values embracing minimalism and prioritizing experiences over material possessions could help us live more sustainably regardless of our lifespan.
It seems that extending lifespan responsibly requires a multifaceted approach.
It does.
Considering not just the biological factors of aging, but also our relationship with the planet and each other.
Right. It's all interconnected.
You know, as we've been discussing this, I've been thinking about how our understanding of the aging process has evolved over time.
Oh, that's interesting.
It used to be seen as an inevitable decline.
Right, like just a natural part of life.
But now it's being viewed as a disease that can potentially be treated or even reversed.
That's a significant shift in perspective, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Framing aging as a disease opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for intervention.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests that we might not be simply delaying the inevitable.
Right.
But fundamentally altering the course of human biology.
It's almost like we're rewriting the rules of the game, challenging the very notion of what it means to be mortal.
It's a pretty radical concept.
But with this newfound power to potentially manipulate the aging process.
Right.
To immense responsibilities.
Definitely.
We've touched on the ethical concerns throughout our deep dives, but I'd like to circle back to one that's particularly intriguing.
Okay, which one is that?
The potential for a two-tiered society.
Right.
Where the wealthy have access to life-extending therapies while the rest are left behind.
That's a valid concern and one that we need to address proactively.
Yeah.
If we're not careful, longevity interventions could exacerbate existing inequalities and create a world where the privileged few have an unfair advantage when it comes to health and lifespan. It's crucial that we develop ethical frameworks and policies to ensure equitable access to these technologies, preventing them from becoming tools of division and injustice.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads facing a choice about what kind of future we want to create.
We are at a critical juncture.
Do we want a future where the benefits of longevity are shared by all, or one where they further entrench existing power structures and inequalities?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's a weighty decision, and one that requires careful consideration and open dialogue.
It's not a decision to be taken lightly.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into Silicon Valley's quest for immortality, I'm left with a sense of both awe and apprehension.
I understand that.
Awe at the sheer ambition and ingenuity driving this research.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
And apprehension about the potential consequences, both intended and unintended.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It's clear that we're at a pivotal moment in human history.
We are.
Where the boundaries of what's possible are constantly being redefined.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
I agree. We're embarking on a journey into uncharted territory, and the path ahead is uncertain.
It is, but it's a journey worth taking.
But the questions we're grappling with are profound.
Absolutely.
Challenging us to confront our deepest fears and aspirations, to re-examine our values, and to envision a future where humanity might transcend its mortal limits.
It's a truly transformative quest.
As we navigate this uncertain terrain, one thing is certain.
What's that?
The quest for immortality is a journey that will transform us, whether we succeed in extending our lifespans or not.
I agree. It's already changing how we think about ourselves in the world.
It forces us to confront fundamental questions about what it means to be human.
Right.
To grapple with the complexities of life and death.
Yeah.
And to imagine a future that is both wondrous and terrifying in its possibilities.
It's a future full of both incredible promise and potential peril.
It's a journey that will demand our best intellect, our most compassionate hearts, and our unwavering commitment to creating a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
That's the key, isn't it? To ensure that technology empowers us and doesn't diminish our humanity.
And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this extraordinary exploration into the world of longevity research.
It's been a pleasure.
We've delved into the science, the ethics, the motivations, and the potential consequences of this fascinating field.
It's a complex and ever-evolving landscape.
But the conversation doesn't end here. We encourage you to continue exploring.
Yes, please do.
To question, to challenge assumptions, and to engage in thoughtful dialogue about the future we want to create.
Keep those conversations going.
And if you've found this deep dive as thought-provoking as we have, we invite you to embark on further explorations with us. The All Sorts podcast is your guide to the universe of knowledge.
Oh, I like that.
Where we delve into the mysteries of the world one deep dive at a time.
That's a great way to put it.
Join us on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Threads, where we'll continue to unravel the complexities of our ever-evolving world.
Awesome.
And spark your curiosity with each new episode.
I'll be there.
Until next time, stay curious. Keep exploring, and dare to imagine a future where the boundaries of human potential are limitless.
What a beautiful thought.